Hello and welcome to Warrior Maven, the Center for Military Modernization. Very significant conversation today in light of the nuclear threat posed by Putin and the Russian military. Sure enough, the forces were not only put on alert, but there have been even more recent threats, of course, along with the use of hypersonic weapons at war, the first time ever. Here to talk about this is a very gifted expert, Mr. Peter Huessy. He is a senior fellow at the Hudson Institute, a non-resident fellow at the Atlantic Council, and also has his own consultancy, GeoStrategic Analysis. Mr. Huessy, thank you so much for your expertise.
Thank you, Kris, for inviting me. It's an honor to talk with you today.
Sure enough, for many years, there's been this ongoing debate about the need to modernize, sustain the Minuteman IIIs, and of course, introduce the GBSD new ICBM. And sure enough, that kind of discussion has rapidly taken on even new urgency. And that's not to say it wasn't previously urgent as well. And so is there a bit of a gap or an impasse here in the sense that GBSD is projected to be ready end of the 2020s, 28, 29. The Columbia class is expected to have its first patrols, I want to say as late as 2031 or so.
That's
now,
right.
The B-21 is moving along, is about to take flight, and may potentially be ready in just the next couple of years. And then I have to think of the B-61 Mod 12, which takes all these otherwise disparate variants of the airdrop nuclear bomb, puts them into one. So you have earth penetrating, you have bunker buster, you have different kinds of area detonations to create a lower yield effect. The idea of variable yield is also very significant, gaining a lot of traction within Air Force thinking. The idea of giving pilots and commanders options. So with all that being said, sure enough, Admiral Richard made the point, yes, I'm achieving deterrence, but it's happening with 60s, 70s, and 80s equipment. We have got to really double down on this acceleration of modernization.
Yeah, we don't have any room to spare. We're up against, basically, we have to go. And I must say this, all the commanders that I've spoken with say our systems are on time, on budget, and under cost. And the thing about GBSD, which is remarkable, if it works the way I think it's going to work, we'll save close to 2/3 the operations costs, which you're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars a year. And remember, the numbers you hear about, that's going to last for 55 years. The subs are going to last, I think, for at least 70 years. And given the fact that B-52 is going to be 100 years old when it's all said and done in its final chapter in that plane's history, I wouldn't be surprised the B-21 lasts certainly half a century or more, depends on how you can add technology to it. But we're getting basically for not 1.2 trillion. That's not the cost. The cost is between 400 and 450 billion dollars over 30 years for the new systems. That's over 55 years at a minimum. So when you do that math, you're talking about, we're talking about what, $9 billion a year. We spend $11.5 billion a year going to the movies.
Sure.
Okay. I'm talking about getting in the car and driving to the movies. I'm not talking about watching it on TV. So when you look at the cost of doing this is relatively, it's between 3 and 4% of the nuclear capability added to the 3 to 4% of operations and maintenance. So it's a relatively modest amount of money. Looks big when you stretch it out for 40 years, as some of the arms controllers do, but it's eminently affordable given the literally trillions of dollars we have spent on COVID. And we spend, I think, the war on poverty since 1966, means tested poverty programs, according to the Mercator Center, we have spent $27 trillion.